And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Lions Pregame Show kickoff. The Lions hosting the Green Bay Packers. I am joined by Jeff Iafrate, Booner, joining us this morning. Oh, goodness me. Well done, Jeff. 10 out of 10.
You didn't hear nothing.
How you doing, buddy? How was your weekend so far?
It was good.
Crazy college action yesterday.
Yes, that's where I was going to get to, too. I mean, what a day yesterday for college football. And now we got, some good football today, too. So,
Good.
Packers coming to Ford Field. I know some people will be down there, sticks at Brass Rail. So if you guys are near the arena, go check out those guys. They'll be at Brass Rail even after the game, doing the post-game show. So, exciting, and we're going to get into it.
Here's what I got for all of you. The Packers are on a 4-game losing streak. The Lions are on a 5-game losing streak. And there are consequences to this. If there was ever you really don't want to play this team week, it works both ways. If you're the Packers, you do not want to be playing a team that's lost 5 in a row. And if you're the Lions, you don't want to be playing an Aaron Rodgers team that's lost 4 in a row.
Yeah, they need a win.
Both teams, again, who has more to lose? It's obviously the Packers. They have playoff implications, right? Their season is still ahead of them. To lose this game would be detrimental for their entire season. Having said that, the Lions traded T.J. Hockenson during the week. Really went through this transformation of kind of acknowledging, we're not making the progress we want with this current iteration of this team. Having said that, we're going to style up, what the hell am I saying? Pile up draft picks. Jesus Christ, Adam. Get it together. The hour back killed me. By the way, happy Daylight Savings Day. Everybody gained an hour. I hope you all enjoyed your 1 extra hour of rest. I'm in a better mood because I actually got an extra hour of sleep. Typically, I get 3 to 4. Today, I got 5.
Let's go.
Makes all the difference in the world, Booner. So, having said that, here we are. It's going to be a great show. We got a lot lined up. Keys to the game will go around the league. 11:30, the inactives, actives list. Will Alan Lazard play? But before we get to players, injured DeAndre Swift, quote, limited but available. We'll get to all of that. But before we do, let's set this up. One team, meaning the Lions, are on a 5-game losing streak, and the Packers are on a 4-game losing streak. I've already told you who has more to lose. Now your guys' turn to tell me narrative going into Monday. What needs to happen? Jeff, I'll start with you. Packers win? Calm down. Everybody calm down. The famous Aaron Rodgers saying, calm down. Relax. Relax. They lose? Aaron Rodgers reportedly heading to jeopardy? Retirement?
No, he's not.
Matt LaFleur, is he a fraud? I'm just blowing out the narrative for you. That's what's going to happen.
Right.
And vice versa. If they win, relax. Easy schedule coming up. We'll right the ship. Yada, yada, yada. I've already played the Bills, right? I already played some of these teams. You got the Bears still. You get the Lions again later, right? Things are working your way. You get Minnesota at home. And for the Lions, you win? What's the narrative Monday? Lions win. Too late. If they lose, Lions lose.
Right. I don't think it really changes, to be honest with you.
I don't think anything's changing for Detroit.
No.
Unless there are the select few that will say, Dan Campbell did it again, and he proved why he's going to be one of the better head coaches in the NFL. Right? I think that's the only thing you could expect. 3.5-point favorites, though, are the Green Bay Packers. Jeff?
Yeah, and on top of that, just look at the stats, too. Aaron Rodgers, 6 straight games with multiple touchdown passes against the Detroit Lions, and on top of that, has a career record of 18-6 against the Lions. And the big thing to watch, for me personally, is who eats without T.J. Hockenson. That's kind of the big thing I'm going to be paying attention to. It's not about the win or the loss for me. I think I'm pretty much my opinion's already been acknowledged for this season. It's already out there. The season's lost. I don't really care about wins and losses at this point. I know for Lions fans, you'd like to see them go on a winning streak or string along a couple wins to end the season. Maybe you can end with 4 or 5, dare I say 6 wins. For me, it's the opposite. At this point, your season's over. You're 1-6, and on top of that, you're right now projected to have the number 1 overall pick. I'd much rather they just stay on that route. I mean, I'm selfishly, I want them to just keep losing.
Yeah.
It's early in the season, the narrative was a little different. You want to see improvement, and obviously you still do from a player perspective. I want to see players get better. Kirby Joseph, Hutchinson, Rodriguez, just things like that. Amon-Ra St. Brown get back to his original form. But to me, Booner, I have really nothing to say on really the result itself. If they win, if they lose, obviously if they win convincingly, then we could talk about something.
Yep.
But in my opinion, if they win convincingly, the story, in my opinion, will be more on the Packers and how they haven't really been able to put it together, and at least haven't been able, especially after the trade deadline, it's been reported they went after Darren Waller, obviously Chase Claypool. They called about DJ Moore. Like, if they lose this game, the Packers are going to really have to look themselves in the mirror, and they're going to have to, moving forward, be like, you know what, in the offseason, because I think Aaron will be here. I'm not going to go that far. He doesn't retire. They're going to have to make some moves.
Yep.
I think this will be more about the Packers than I think the Lions, personally.
Yeah, I'm in the same thing. Adam put it perfectly that this is all kind of on the Packers side of things. Like, if they lose, then they have to start questioning what's going on in Green Bay. They didn't even make any moves in the trade deadline, which was absolutely wild. Chicago basically stole Claypool from Green Bay because they were going after him as well.
Right.
Did they, though?
On the Lions' end, it just doesn't. You know, we know what we're 1-6 is a loss. I mean, what is the loss going to do? We're going to probably talk about the same stuff. And the win doesn't really do as much as well. So I'm with Adam, and I'm with both of you guys here. The Packers, I mean, if they win, they get their season kind of rolling. But if they lose, then you have to really start questioning Matt LaFleur, which I hate to do. Shout out Saginaw. He's a Saginaw Valley quarterback. He was a quarterback there. Shout out to that.
Yep,
but,
shout out.
It just then the ball just starts rolling down the hill there to where
Think
you
about
have
it this
issues in Green Bay.
Think about it this way, from Detroit's perspective, right? They got nothing to lose, right?
Right.
Right. You're not in week 16, 17, or 18 where if you win, you may not have the number 1 or number 2 or number 3 pick, right? Where you're not there yet. And I'm sorry. I personally believe Dan Campbell's coaching for his job. No, not in the necessity of he has to win this game or you're fired. No.
Right.
Not in this game context. But the next 10 games. What do you got for me, Dan? Are you just going to be 2-8? Or can you somehow muster 4-6? Dare I say 5-5? And again, he's probably going to be here next year. So maybe it won't matter for you. It matters to me. So, yes, the Lions don't have anything to lose today. But the reality is, there's no pressure on them.
Yep.
You want to talk about a team that's able to come out and kind of play their game? They're at home. They beat Green Bay last year to end the season at home as well. So all the trick plays, Amon-Ra, Khalif Raymond. What are you going to see today? And again, I am not because I want to be here, but because of your results. You are 1-6. I am at the point where I am evaluating player development. Kirby Joseph, Aiden Hutchinson, Josh Pascal. Amon-Ra, can he get back to where he was to start the season? I know he has been dealing with that ankle injury. Hopefully he's 100% now moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Jameson Williams, you expect him in 4 or 5 weeks. Who knows? That's just the reality of this football team. So that's what you're looking for. And then regarding the head coach, you got to win. And I know you don't like to hear this. I know you don't. But whether he calls the game of his life, whether he makes all the right decisions, all the wrong decisions, they convert on 4th down, they don't convert on 4th down, they punt, they don't punt, they kick field goals, they don't kick field goals, whatever he decides to do. In the 24, 25 game sample size we have, he just knows how to lose. I don't like that. And again, does everything change if he beats Green Bay today? No, obviously not. I don't want to knee-jerk on one game. And even if they lose, you don't knee-jerk on one game. You guys know how I feel about Dan already. So I want to dive into the players coming up next. Let's go to DeAndre Swift. He will be, quote, limited today. What? Bro, how long you been hurt? It's a shoulder sprain
Right.
and an ankle injury. Saquon Barkley was playing with a much worse shoulder prior to the bye week because he was going out there trying to help his team win football games. The Lions can't win football games at a rate that you could without him. That's the reality. They are a better team with him in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Limited? Fuck you. When we get back, We'll take a quick pause. When we get back, DeAndre Swift, his status going into week 2. I want to go around the room. Your guys' thoughts on his injury concerns, what he means to this football team, what he can do against Green Bay's defense, who have been really shaky all season. And then we'll check with Stick, of course, in the Cuervo Zone, live at the Brass Rail downtown. But before we go, I do have to remind you the Detroit Lions pregame show is brought to you by our good friends over at Swiss Insurance. We'll be right back. We'll see you guys in just a bit.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
All right, thank you to everybody joining us back here live on a beautiful Sunday morning, 11:13. Happy Daylight Savings Day, right? Everybody gets back an hour. It's your favorite one of the year to look forward to. I was up till 1 a.m., technically 2, but it was 1 a.m. when I got to bed, so I was like, I'm feeling great.
It ended up working out.
Feeling great about this. Lions host the Green Bay Packers. We'll go around the NFC North at around 11:45. Minnesota, big game today on the road at Washington. Chicago, probably getting their asses kicked by Miami. They just traded away Robert Quinn. They got a lot to talk about there. We'll go around the NFL later on for pick'ems. It'll be a fun show. But let's start with DeAndre Swift. He will be limited today, boys. Jeff? We've been monitoring the situation for weeks now. Or give him the bye week. He'll come out, will be better. All right, give him the bye week. Comes out, not available. Oh, what? Okay, not available. Okay, all right, he gets an additional week. Cool. Last week, 5 carries. Head coach Dan Campbell. Hey, man, I thought 5 carries. We honestly just put too much of a load on him. What? What is going on? What? And look, I'm not even going after the player at the moment, but what the hell is going on? Somebody figure it out. Look, some players, unfortunately, are just injury prone. They're always banged up. They're always hurt. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just human nature. He may be one of those guys. He may be made of glass. But what the hell?
Yeah.
Available but limited. Boys, frustrating, to say the least. Jeff?
Yeah, it's more than frustrating. I mean, DeAndre Swift, everyone can acknowledge his talent. Everyone can acknowledge the impact he has when he plays. And before last week when he played, I don't know if it's still the same because he had 5 carries for 6 yards, but before last game, he was leading the NFL in yards per carry. He was leading the NFL. He was the most explosive, you could argue, running back when he's healthy. And you know how much of an impact he played week 1. He only had 5 carries week 2, and you could see kind of the workload going down from there. And we had a conversation after week 1. I'm like, you got to give this guy more carries. Boy, was I wrong. And a lot of that has to do with his availability. And again, I still think that you have to draft a running back this year. I think that's just the reality. I don't think they'll re-sign Jamal. We'll see. I know they were shopping Jamal around the trade deadline. I'm assuming you take a running back in the draft. But for Swift, it is frustrating. I mean, you're looking at a Green Bay Packers defense that's 29th in the NFL. The Lions are 30th in rushing yards per game allowed. The Lions give up 154.9 yards per game. The Packers give up 141 yards per game. So this is a defense for the Packers that are prone to giving up at least big plays on the ground. And that's where Jamal and DeAndre come in. But with DeAndre's injury, it's confusing, like really to say the least. Like for a guy that's been banged up, you rest him during the bye week, you play him limited, give him limited carries against Miami, and he's still hurt. It doesn't make sense to me, Booner, but this I've already come to the fact that we need to draft a running back. Like,
Yeah.
my opinion does not change.
I've been on the same thing. We need to get a running back, whether it's the second, third round next year, to be able to at least have someone to help him out to where when he does go down, we have someone that can step up. I just don't understand here how everyone was under the impression that the bye week, he sat out. He hasn't played really since Minnesota.
Right.
He's had 4 or 5 weeks to get healthy. They say, hey, after the bye week, we're going to rest him the bye week so he can get even more healthy, and we can bring him back. And he still sat out. And then last week, it's, hey, he's active, and we're going to try him out. They don't run him as much as he's not full. He was limited last week. Why do they bring him back last week limited if they're going to do it again back-to-back weeks? Why don't they just sit him last week to get that extra
Who are they
rest?
fooling?
Like, what do they do?
Especially
I don't understand
who are you fooling by having him out there?
It makes zero
You
sense.
come out before the game and say he's limited. Oh, DeAndre Swift's out there. Oh boy, no team gives a rip.
Yep.
You're not 5-3, 5-2, where you're sitting up there saying, "Oh man, you're on the opposing sideline. Damn, DeAndre Swift is available today. Oh boys, who are you fooling? Who are you trying to catch off guard outside of yourselves?" I'm very irritated from the whole DeAndre Swift situation. How long? How long? You've had almost 5 weeks now,
Yep.
5 full weeks to recover from a shoulder, an ankle where we have been told there is no ligament or structure damage.
Right.
Slight sprain, which is, technically a tear, but nothing that'll keep you out for the season. I'm confused.
And this is the biggest frustration to me, and I always go back to this. Coming out of the draft, DeAndre had the least amount of workload out of all the running backs available. That was the big thing for Swift when he was drafted. I remember when he came out, doing research on him. Yeah, this guy, out of all the guys that were available, Jonathan Taylor being another one, he had the least amount of workload. This guy was going to had the freshest legs coming into the NFL. And he hasn't finished an entire season through his first 3 seasons in the NFL. And the frustrating part is this year, and it's different between his first 2 years, he's gotten hurt earlier this year, which is concerning to me. You play 3 games, essentially. Well, you play one, obviously the big game against Philly, the debut, and then you play a limited amount against Washington, limited against Minnesota, and then that's it. Like, it's almost like, and you talk about a guy being fragile, and body types are obviously different. Like Saquon and DeAndre don't have the same body type, clearly, but it is frustrating. I mean, this is a guy that, again, has the potential, in Flannel Sam said it in the booth over there. Like, the guy's going to lead the NFC in rushing. And it's not that he was crazy given the talent. He's crazy giving the availability, because the best ability is availability.
Yeah, and when he plays, he is a top 5, top 10 back in the league. Like, he produces. I just cannot get over the fact that back-to-back weeks, same injury that's been going on for 5 weeks, he's limited back-to-back weeks. It's frustrating, yeah, but why don't you just let him sit last week and let him recover an extra week so he can be full this week? I don't know what's going on there. I don't know kind of what,
especially with one win.
Yeah, I don't know what
none of
the
this
issue
matters.
is.
Right.
What their talks are in coaching staff, the medical, all of that, but I don't know how you go back-to-back weeks limited with that same injury that's been lingering for 5 weeks long. Why not just take that extra week and go full at this point?
Right. And I love Jamal, but Jamal, obviously, we all can acknowledge this. He does not bring the same threat, the big play threat.
No.
Jamal's a great in between the tackles, but in terms of getting out in space, and he can have a big play or two, but DeAndre's that big play guy. And again, like his availability, like this is why the conversation around the trade deadline was: are you trading Swift or are you trading TJ? Yep. And clearly, TJ's the one out the door. But I think personally, it's because he just had more value. Like, I don't think Swift, and we talked about this, I don't think Swift's value is as high as people think right now, because he just hasn't been available. No matter how good he is.
If you were a GM and you needed a running back, would you trade for him?
I mean, we talked maybe a late flyer. Maybe. If you're a contender.
So no.
No.
You give up a 7th. Maybe.
Yep.
Maybe. I'm being generous.
Uber talented, but he's not available.
God. All right, look, let's check in with the heavyweights real quick. We'll be right back. We'll continue the conversation on Swift, but let's go to all the fans and the heavyweights downtown right now and get their thoughts on the game.
As long as they lose, we'll make money in the church.
Why do you think that?
Because if they win, they won't come back.
That's true.
The fact, like the people that they come to see their team win.
Yeah.
If they lose, a lot of them won't come. So I think best to keep them coming here by losing.
What do you think about like Kyrie Irving and Kanye West, the big like Packers fans?
They can go whoever they want to.
Yeah.
Free country.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I think so too.
Yeah, it's a free country. You can go wherever you want to go.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
You're right.
What up, it's your boy Easy Woodward Sports. We're downtown Detroit for the Green Bay Packers versus Detroit Lions game, and I'm with my man Clinton. Are you nervous about today? Packers are 3-5. That's not like familiar territory for you guys.
Yeah, I know, but we'll see if we try today.
What's up with the Packers this year? Like, why do they suck this year?
Well, we just don't have somebody getting double covered all the time, right?
Yeah.
Just trying to get the system going.
Do you think Devontae Adams made Rodgers more than Rodgers made Devontae Adams? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think just that double coverage always left somebody else open, right?
I agree. That's the whole argument that T.J. Hawkins is better than Eric Ebron. But moving on, I digress. What do you think about Kyrie Irving, Kanye West, big Packers fans, big like Packers supporters?
Oh yeah? Yeah, I didn't know that, but that's good.
I'm just joking, man. I appreciate you. Good luck to you again. Yeah.
Oh my God, Easy. Oh dear God. Oh dear God, this is what we pay people to send them out and do? Oh my God. I'm sorry you all had to witness that. I wish I knew that's what it was before it was sent in. I would have never requested it for anything.
That cartwheel by Easy, man. He's got.
That wasn't a cartwheel. That was a landslide.
Oh my God.
That was a landslide.
You know
Jesus
what's
Christ.
crazy too, and I sent you guys a video last week, but being in the arena, the biggest shock to me, and it shouldn't be a shock, but I was appalled by how many Dolphins fans were at Ford Field, and you see kind of a same thing trending. Now it's a divisional opponent, but that arena is probably going to be, I would say, 40 to 50% Packer fans.
Who knows? You can't say that publicly.
That's just the reality. Like there's
Remember
not
the Niners game last year? Home opener. And it looked like it was a Niner game.
There's going to be some cheeseheads in the crowd, like a lot of
a
them.
lot, yeah.
Definitely
so
will be.
It kind of speaks to, I mean, Lions fans are pretty much giving up on go. Early in the season, mostly Lions fans. You see it now trending now, the middle of the season. People are barely going to the game. But they're frustrated.
You
and
listen to
rightfully
some
so.
of those fans, and
Rightfully
it's just
so.
like, yeah, like you're not sure what to say anymore, right? Like, what more can I bring to you right now, right? What is there? It's a 1-6 football product.
Yeah, what are you selling me?
What can I do for you, honestly? How can I make your day better? I'm really not sure. I'm doing my best. I wish I could sit up here and talk about a 4-3 football team. Hell, even 3-4. And that they're making progress under this head coach. And that they have a damn chance against Green Bay. And you know what? Even if they lose to Green Bay, you're still confident that they can beat some of these teams coming up, like maybe even the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Chicago Bears, the New York Giants. Yeah, you can at least give them a fighter's chance. Now you're sitting here talking about a 1-6 football team. It's difficult. And then you talk about their running back. You talk about their running back who has been MIA, and it's gotten to a point where I'm frustrated for you. DeAndre Swift, available, limited. The fuck does that mean? He's available, he's ready, but he's limited. Limited fashion. Can you, like... pisses me off. They did the same thing with St. Brown. St. Brown was not ready for New England, and these fuckers put him out there. His ankle was not ready. He didn't look the same after that. In Dallas, I mean, that was a fluke injury. It wasn't really even a concussion, but he was pulled out of the game, whatever.
Yep.
So, again, get it together. I'm not asking for much. Get your shit together. Having said that, got a lot of cool stuff coming up. We'll check with Stick in the Cuervo Zone probably in the next 3, 4, 5 minutes. He's downtown at the Brass Row. Make sure you check him out. Look for the heavyweights while you're downtown. Have some fun. Packers it's going to be an interesting conversation we're going to have. 11:30 coming up in just a few minutes. The inactives and the actives report will come out. We'll go over that. We'll see if Allen Lazard's playing for Green Bay. That's a big one to look out for. With the Lions, you kind of already know who's who. So, we'll recap. We'll give you everything that you need to know. And then at 11:42, 11:43, we'll have Noah joining us. Noah to give us some inside information on what's going on behind the scenes with injury status, what's going on with the current culture in the building. And we'll hear from Maddie maybe later on as well. So we'll get to all that and more. But before we do, here's a message from our good friends.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
All right, we're back here live for the Detroit Lions pregame show. The Lions hosting the Green Bay Packers in the Week 9 matchup that sees two teams on losing streaks going up against each other. The inactives list coming out in just a few minutes, so we'll get to that. But before we do, we've mentioned already DeAndre Swift. A few big decisions were made this week. TJ Hawkinson traded, Aubrey Pleasant let go. So we'll start with the secondary. Aubrey Pleasant. Jeff, will there be a difference in secondary play with Pleasant gone?
I think the only difference you'll see is maybe guys wanting to fight or at least step up now that Aubrey Pleasant's fired. I don't think schematically, because again, they talked about the communication, and that was Aubrey Pleasant's job, to make sure the secondary was all on the same page. Those guys were getting better. And you saw some guys get better a little bit, Jeff Okudah, but also some guys regress, Ermanni Iafrate. So it's kind of been a mix of emotions for Aubrey Pleasant. I personally do. I like Aubrey Pleasant a lot, and you can make the argument. This is what frustrates me, and I get the decision. I'm not arguing the decision, because if your secondary is as bad as it is, and every week it's the same narrative, miscommunication, a change has to be made. I do also feel like he was a scapegoat. Like that's kind of my feelings on it. And like, just to say too, let's say you take Aubrey Pleasant and you put him on the Packers, or you put him on the Eagles, or you put him on the Patriots, and he was a secondaries coach. Do you think he really sets back their secondary? I don't think so. So again, a lot of it has to do with the players you have. Like the Lions right now, passing yards allowed so far in the NFL, they're 27th. They allow 266.4 passing yards per game. The Packers, just to give you some context, they're second right now in the NFL. They give up 174.8. You know what's funny, though, Adam? And I'm just throwing this in there. We don't have to discuss it. But the Lions are 27th in passing yards allowed. You know who's 32nd? The Atlanta Falcons.
Wait, say that again? Sorry, my ears aren't working today.
You know who's
I have too many fucking idiots talking to me. What is that?
You know who's worse than the Lions in terms of giving up passing yards? They're
passing
27th.
Yards per game.
They're 27th.
When teams throw the football.
Yes.
And they complete passes.
Yes.
And it goes for positive yardage?
Yes.
That stat.
The Lions are 27th.
27th.
The Falcons are 32nd. They're the worst team in the NFL in passing yards given up. But that's a side note. Anyway, I think guys are going to step up this game. But to be honest, Adam, talent is talent. They don't have talent in the secondary without Tracy Walker for the majority of the year. I do want to see guys like Kirby Joseph make plays. That would be a positive sign. And Jeff Okudah be better in pass coverage. But other than that, Ermanni Iafrate not line up on the other side of the line of scrimmage. But other than that, I don't think there's going to be much different. They're still not very talented in their secondary. Maybe they play hard for Aaron Glenn after the decision was made last week, but I don't think anything changes.
Play hard. I'm just
or lock in, I guess.
Yeah,
you should say.
I'm just tired of that. Here we go. Making the change, Booner. Making the change in the secondary. No, they're going to play harder this week, not smarter.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to realize this week that the Pleasant move isn't going to be. I mean, you just don't have the guys back there. And I think we're all saying it. Is that Pleasant move going to make any difference? Realistically, like maybe some communication. But I mean, you're going to know this week because this Packers team has struggled in the passing game. They haven't been that great realistically. So if they come in here today and put up 350 passing yards versus us, then it's like, okay, maybe we just don't have the guys and it wasn't Pleasant and that was a scapegoat.
Well, so, hear me out on this. You guys ready for this one? Inactives just came out.
Here we go.
Players that are inactive for today. Michael Brockers, Austin Bryant, Chase Lucas, Iffy Melifanu, Matt Nelson, A.J. Parker, and Josh Reynolds.
Josh Reynolds is inactive.
Josh Reynolds is inactive. We knew Nelson, Parker, Iffy, and Chase Lucas were going to be out. Late additions to the list, Josh Reynolds, Michael Brockers, and Austin Bryant.
That benefits my parlay a little bit.
DeAndre Swift is active.
Mm-hmm.
He is active. But, again, I think one of the things you're going to look forward to if you're a Lions fan today is how does the offense really execute drives, right? The red zone, you're handing it off to Jamal Williams, especially at the goal line. Amon-Ra St. Brown's been out of the end zone for a few weeks now. You're looking for him to get back to the 6-7 reception games, 80, 90 yards a game, and maybe a touchdown. That's where you're looking for. That's what you're looking out of him. And there's the inactive. Holy hell, that was warped as hell, dude. Holy hell.
James Mitchell wasn't on there, right?
No, James Mitchell is active.
Okay, I read that wrong. I'm like, who?
Well, we're waiting on Green Bay to send out their inactives report. Still waiting on Green Bay, but I think the big one with Green Bay is, hey, you know what? Is Christian Watson going to play? Is Preston Smith going to play? As of 2 days ago, both were questionable. Alan Lazard, the same thing, game time decision. So we'll figure that out. Figure that out as the information comes to us. Noah will be joining us in just a few minutes. Are you ready, Kareem? All right, let's throw up the inactives list just so you all can see it.
Well, wait. James Mitchell.
That is incorrect. That is Eagles. Take it down. The hell? Kareem, you're on drugs today. It's all good, buddy.
Okay.
Whatever the drugs are, though, please share with the team here. I'm sure everybody will.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say, I read the wrong team there. I was panicking.
All good.
I'm like, what happened to James Mitchell?
All good. All right, here we go.
All right.
Here's where we're at. Aaron Rodgers on the year. If I were to ask you both, off the top of your head, don't look at your laptop.
Okay.
Who has more passing yards, Aaron Rodgers or Jared Goff?
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff.
Okay, who's got more passing touchdowns, Jared Goff or Aaron Rodgers?
I'll go Goff as well.
What is Aaron Rodgers has 13. I'll say Jared Goff.
Okay, you guys are 1-1 so far. Who has more interceptions, Aaron Rodgers or Jared Goff?
Jared Goff.
Yeah, Jared.
All right. So Aaron Rodgers does have fewer yards, but he does have more interceptions, fewer interceptions and more passing touchdowns.
Really?
13-12. It's very close, actually. But again, why I'm asking and why I'm bringing this up is I think this is the Aaron Rodgers field day. I hate to say it. I'm sorry. It makes so much sense. Jeff, you brought up a stat during the break. Aaron Rodgers, what was it? 6 consecutive games, I believe, with multiple passing touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers, if there was ever a get-right game where a team needed a win, it is right now for the Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. 4-game losing streak. Season's basically on the line. You're not going to be a wild card team starting the season 3-6. That's not going to happen.
Right.
So here we go. Can they turn it around? I think Aaron has one of his better games. If you're a fan of betting, I'm taking the over on Aaron Rodgers for touchdowns. I'm taking the over on Aaron Rodgers for yards. It just makes too much sense. I'm not sure what the Lions will have to offer, but one side of the ball I do think will have a good performance today. Watch out for the front seven. I do think the Lions front seven will have way more success than they did last week. And one of the reasons was Tua is just so good at getting the ball out so quickly. He's leading the NFL by a landslide in terms of how quickly he releases the ball. So, Booner, I like the front seven today for Detroit.
Yeah, I do as well. I do have the Green Bay inactives here and who's active if you guys want that.
Let's hear it.
Lazard and Christian Watson are both active. David, I might pronounce his name wrong, Bakhtiari, he is also active as well today. So those are some kind of little game changers, I think, in the offensive side for Green Bay, especially with our secondary struggles that we've had.
Yeah, certainly David Bakhtiari, I think, is probably the big one. Because this Green Bay offensive line this year has been shaky. And that's why also I believe that the Lions have a chance to at least get to Aaron. Now the problem, and similar to Tua, is Aaron is kind of in that mold of they can get rid of the ball very quickly. And that's kind of the Lions, that's kind of their point of weakness there. If you have a quarterback that can get rid of the ball quickly, Aiden Hutchinson, Josh Pascal, and those guys, it's going to be hard to get to Aaron. But the biggest one to me is David Bakhtiari. Lazard as well, clearly, because of the secondary. But I was hoping, at least Lions fans should be hoping, that Bakhtiari wasn't active this game.
Fair enough. I think Lazard's a big one, though.
It's huge.
Lazard playing is huge for Aaron Rodgers. That's his guy, right? It'll be a lot of Tunyon. It'll be a lot of Aaron Jones. And it'll be a lot of Allen Lazard. And, again, I'll keep bringing this up. You guys can get upset. That's fine. Deal with it. But hear me out. Jeff Okudah, can we all agree, has been excellent. Excellent in terms of supporting the run, open field tackling. We all agree? Nods across the room?
Yep.
Cool. Everybody in the chat, do we agree? Jeff Okudah has been excellent in supporting the run? Cool. Great. I would like to see that on the passing side. I would love to see him in pass coverage situations where he's winning, where he is making plays. Tariq Woolen, a 3rd or 4th round pick from Seattle, should not already have more career interceptions than you. And you're in your 3rd year, excuse me? Kind of losing patience here. And if all he ends up being is just a very good tackler and a good number 2, all right, live with it. Nothing I can say. But this whole Jeff Okudah is really having a great year. How? I need the pass coverage side to really take that next step.
Right.
We always knew he was a great open field tackler. It was one of his biggest strengths at Ohio State. And you saw it really his first year before all the injuries happened. That game against Arizona, he made like 3 or 4 open field tackles. That was always one of the things that he could do very well. He's doing it well. Cool. Great. Love it. When am I going to see the corner that gets a timely pick, that has a timely deflection on 3rd and short,
right.
3rd and long, maybe in the red zone, prevents a touchdown? When do we see that in Detroit? Haven't seen it. He's had a good season so far. I don't think it's to the level we're giving him credit for, because you can't just support the run. You need to be effective as a cover corner. Booner?
Yeah, the thing that I go back to all the time, I talked about it with Jeff before this is the show as well. It's about putting a full game together and putting like every aspect of Okudah's game together. Like, he has to go out there and put all different aspects of the game, pass coverage, runs, stopping the run, all of those. Once he gets all of those together, he will be that good. But you can't say he is that next level until he does that, and he has to do it consistently, I think, which we haven't. In the run game, yeah, we've seen him step up and make plays, but we haven't seen that in the pass game realistically. But he's been good, like Adam said, he's been getting the tackles, he can stop the run. It's about putting the full game together. We've had those issues with our defense, with our offense, everything. Putting every aspect of the game together. Once I see that from Okudah, then you can kind of say he's taken that next step to be your guy.
Yeah, and the big thing for Jeff, too, is simply getting reps. And I'm not saying he's going to all of a sudden become a Sauce Gardner, because Sauce Gardner, his rookie year, is a shutdown corner. That's the reality of it. So Jeff clearly isn't that, especially missed half his rookie season, you missed your entire sophomore season, and now you're here in your 3rd season, and now everyone wants you to be Hefe Island, be a lockdown corner. I just don't think that's realistic. Personally, I like Jeff Okudah. Like you said, I think he brings some positive aspects, especially of his game, like his open field tackling. You could put him in the box. He can be an animal. But in terms of actually shutting down receivers, I just haven't seen that. Especially early in the season, I can give him credit for the performance against Devontae Smith, Terry McLaurin, and even Justin Jefferson. But was that all Jeff Okudah? No. That's kind of the narrative that gets twisted a little bit. So I got a lot of love for Jeff, root for him. But I think the whole narrative is, can Jeff turn into the shutdown corner? I just think that's gone, especially coming off that Achilles injury. Like, you're asking a guy to be top peak form. It's just not realistic.
Would you say he has the opportunity today versus a guy like Lazard, who's not? Lazard isn't like a Tua or a Justin Jefferson. Do you think, Jeff, he has the opportunity today to shut down a Lazard and kind of prove us a little bit wrong in that aspect, to where he can shut down, an average wide receiver in a game like this versus Green Bay.
You could definitely argue this is probably one of his favorable matchups.
Yeah.
I mean, so far, if you look at the talent at the wide receiver position of all the teams they faced, this is probably, I got to watch what I say here because you can't really say the easiest, but it's probably the least difficult. But even if he goes out there and plays well against Lazard or Romeo Doubs, a rookie, for example, I don't think that changes the narrative. It's a guy who struggled at times. And again, the whole conversation is Jeff a safety? Is he a corner? I don't know. That's up to the coaching staff to figure that out. Where does Jeff excel best? And they've used him in the right spots the last couple weeks. But overall, I just think the narrative about Jeff being a shutdown corner is pretty much out.
Where do you think Jeff Okudah ranks
gone.
this season in terms of overall pass coveraging grades
It ain't
in the
good.
NFL?
It ain't good. I
Top
can tell you
25?
that. No, I don't think
Booter?
top 25.
No.
Top 50?
Maybe even a little after that.
Top 60?
Maybe I would go top 60. Maybe
Top 60,
That would
right?
be my
You would
guess.
imagine, right?
My
He's
guess
one of
would
the
be top
second
60.
best corners on 32 teams, right? Top 64. He's 88th. Kyle Fuller, James Pierre, Kelvin Joseph, Danny Johnson, Rock Yassin, Shaquille Griffin, Darren Bland.
Even like the 5th round corner for the
D.
Seahawks,
Alford.
Tariq Woolen, he's probably up there
No, he's
too.
playing at an excellent level.
As a
There's
5th round
difference.
draft pick. So
There's a big difference.
Again, it's just
Tariq Woolen's 33rd on the list. He's near Stephon Gilmore, Will Harris. Oh, what do you know? Will Harris. Will Harris with a 71.3 grade. 33rd, tied 33rd best in the NFL.
and he gets a lot of flack.
And
Will
he's the
Harris.
one that gets ridiculed every week. Meanwhile, Jeff Okudah, 88th in the NFL right now in terms of pass coverage ratings.
It's brutal. That's not
I'm
great.
just lying about Jeff Okudah. I'm just lying about him. Let's bring Noah on. We'll take a quick break. When we get back, we'll hit up Noah. We'll talk to Noah about the upcoming game. Top of the hour, we'll go around the league. We'll do our pick'ems. We'll finalize, I think, a few things around the NFC North I want to get to as well after that. Then we'll get into game predictions and so much more. We'll see you guys in just a little bit.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
All right, we are back live here on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you to everybody joining us live over at woodwardsports.com. The Detroit Lions Pregame Show. They are hosting in a Week 9 matchup the Green Bay Packers. Both teams on a losing streak. The Packers losing 4 in a row. The Lions on a 5-game losing streak. Both teams looking to end what's been a miserable month. A little over a month for the Lions, really. So let's bring in Noah. Noah is one of our contributors and staff writers here at the Woodward Sports Network. Writes a ton about the Detroit Lions. Noah, good morning. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm good. You look very swaggy today.
When doesn't he look swaggy, though?
Thank you.
All right, Noah, here's my first
best. I try
question
my
for you.
best.
Here's my first question for you. We talked about DeAndre Swift. Available, but limited. Am I missing something here? I'm not understanding how week to week to week to week he is somehow getting better, but he's never fully available.
So the thing is that Campbell is always talking about, we want to give him time, let him come back to full health. But it doesn't really seem like they're ever really letting him take time off and come back for full health. They're like, let's give him a shot these next couple of weeks. Let's see how many snaps we can get in for him. But you really need a player to be fully healthy to be really impactful in the game. Unless he has a 100-yard run off his 10 carries, then I don't get the point in playing him when you can just sit him, let him rest, and actually recover for another week.
And Noah, as someone who obviously pays attention to this team on a weekend basis, for me personally, and I'll give you my take, nothing really changes for me for the rest of the season. You'd like to see Dan Campbell improve from a coaching perspective, decision making, et cetera, et cetera. But for me, I could give a rat's ass, Noah. Like, I'm in this for the number one pick. I don't care what happens to the rest of the season. I really don't. I don't think it really affects anything. The Lions last year, I think the end of the season, if I'm not mistaken, 3-3 or 3-2, whatever it was, to their last 5-6 games, it didn't even translate. So to me, it does not matter. But for you, what do you need to see out of this team, at least moving forward from Dan Campbell's perspective, to at least get Lions fans, their morale a little higher? What do you got to see from Dan and this team moving forward?
I need to see him coach a little more effectively. I think the position coaches that we have, from offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, all the position coaches, I really think it's a good staff. But we need to see them grow. A lot of these guys, this is their first or second time in that role in the NFL. They're all former players for the most part, so they all understand they just need a growth period. And I did hear you earlier, you kind of want them just to tank out, but for me, what I need to see out of Dan Campbell is to see him get some more wins, see him get a road win, see him improve, because we know that the younger guys are eventually going to get there. Most of them are. We've already seen, like, Malcolm Rodriguez, he's really playing stellar. Kirby Joseph in preseason looked like the worst safety I've ever seen, but so far he's like making tackles, making plays out there. We're seeing improvement. So the players will get there, but the coaches is a little hard to tell because you don't know. They might be stuck in their ways for the long haul. We just don't know it yet.
And what do you think the effect will be? Because for me, I want to see player development. I think that's number one for me. As long as players are getting better, I think wins are might be a byproduct of that. If Kirby's Joseph's getting better, Malcolm Rodriguez, Aiden, Josh Pascal, even offensively, then winning would be a byproduct of that. But a decision that was made this week up until the game, Aubrey Pleasant being fired, relieved of his duties. We've seen week in and week out that the secondary failed to be on the same page. And of course, you look at the secondary coach, even though I personally think he's a scapegoat. What are you expecting to see, or what kind of effect will that have on this secondary moving forward? You think the guys are going to play harder, or at least lock in more, knowing like, hey, Aubrey Pleasant was just fired. We got to step up and play better. What do you expect out of the secondary moving forward with now the departure of Aubrey Pleasant?
I expect them to play better. I mean, I think you'd hope so. You'd think that most of these guys are professionals enough to know that it's not something that's totally personal. But honestly, that whole situation was a total surprise. I think out of all the coaches, like when you go into practice, the first team that you see, the first positions that you see when you walk through those gates is the DBs. So you're pretty much by Aubrey Pleasant 20-30% of the time that you're at practice. So you get to hear him a lot. You hear him, how vocal he is. The players really respected him. So that was actually a very big surprise. But you'd hope that the players would respond with, okay, he's gone. Maybe we should try to keep our jobs and play better. But we'll see. I mean, it could be, you never know. These guys could not be happy with the decision and not play as hard, or this season's really thrown up in the air. So I guess we'll have to wait and see today.
Yeah, look, there's not a lot of things trending in the right direction for the Lions right now. They traded TJ Hawkinson midweek to the Minnesota Vikings. Noah, a second-round pick, potentially a third-round pick. Was it the right move, and do you really buy into Brad Holmes saying, yeah, you know what, if we were 6-1, would have traded him either way?
No. I mean, that's Lions talk. That's front office talk. You can't just say that we have to make this move because we're tanking, because at the end of the day, they still have to sell tickets. They still have to keep people interested in the team that aren't the media. So, like, Brad Holmes did his job there, and it's fine. I feel like everyone kind of has an understanding that that's not actually the truth. They would not have traded TJ if they're 6-1. But personally, for what I think, for what they got for him, I'm okay with it. I think that, first of all, there's a lot of tight ends on the roster. I don't know if any of them can be as good as TJ Hawkinson. But the way that we utilize our offense, TJ really isn't heavily involved. We're more of a geared towards throwing the receivers or Swift on slants and screens and stuff like that. So, I mean, he was a good pass blocker, and he was a decent player for the Lions. But I mean, he's got a good opportunity in Minnesota.
No, are you alive, buddy? Can you go back to him, or is he frozen?
Oh,
there you go. We're good.
Hello.
What do you got? The T-Mobile Wi-Fi?
I Metro PCS Wi-Fi.
Oh God! Continue, Noah. You're good, man. You're good.
Okay. I wasn't quite sure where I cut off, but pretty much
Hawkinson being a good pass blocker right after
basically
that.
the offense, his ability to be involved or not. Yep.
Yeah, and he was good for the Lions. Decent player, but I think it's time to move on because he's going to want to go somewhere and win, and we still have about 2 to 3 years on our clock to get to a point where we can even be in a wild card conversation. So I think for the picks that we got and his timeline and our team's timeline, I think it makes sense.
All right, fair enough. Well, Noah, can't thank you enough for joining us this morning. It is appreciated. As always, you enjoy your Sunday. Can't wait to hear what you write. For everybody at home, check out woodwardsports.com for all the latest news, articles, opinion pieces, like not only Noah, myself, Jeff, a lot of people here write as well. So, Noah, appreciate it. You have a good rest of your day, buddy.
Thank you, you guys as well.
Noah's so polite. What do we do with him? So polite. Don't deserve people like that.
Don't bring him around your wife.
Hey, ho, whoa.
All
right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to check in live with Stick right now. Stick, what kind of action we got over at the Cuervo Zone right now, please?
We are live from the Cuervo Zone at the Brass Rail. My name is Stick. What's your name, man?
Hunter.
Hunter, where are you from?
Battle Creek.
Battle Creek. Did you drive all the way here for this game today?
Yes, sir.
Do you still have faith in the Lions?
Yep, I think we're going to win out.
You're going to win out?
Yep. I have complete confidence in this team. Jared Goff is an underrated quarterback, and, Amon St. Brown's going to come alive tonight.
Hey, I'm with you on the Jared Goff thing. I think there's way too much Jared Goff slander, but they're going to win out.
That might be an overestimate, but I think that they're going to exceed expectations from here on out, 100%.
I do too, man. Hopefully this is the turnaround for Dan Campbell. They beat the hell out of Aaron Rodgers today.
Yeah, I think they sacked him 3 times. Aiden Hutchinson, 2 sacks. He's been over-pursuing the quarterback a lot. I think he hones that in today.
Man, we need to get you out there coaching these guys.
That's what I'm saying. I'm calling plays from the seats.
Where are you sitting today? Got good seats?
Yeah, like 7 rows behind the goalpost. So hopefully I see some toe taps.
Hell yeah, and hopefully someone jumps in the stands in your lap.
Yup. Hopefully. Not Aaron Rodgers, though.
No, fuck Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, fuck Aaron Rodgers.
All right, have a good day, man.
All right, you too. Thanks.
Oh, God.
Putting a restraining order on you as we speak.
That is awesome. Battle Creek.
Think about this, though. Shout out to that man, by the way, coming all the way from Battle Creek to watch the Lions, and he's gonna
watch your team lose 42-10, as Emerald would say in the Woodward Sports chat. It takes a lot of courage. Takes a lot of courage. Honest to God question here, though, for everybody just in the chat. Let's be honest here. The over/under for Aaron Rodgers' passing yards is 260.5. Yes, no Devontae Adams. That's a pretty friendly line for a guy in his last 3, 4, 5 games that has been averaging over 300 yards and multiple touchdown scores. I like the bet today. I just do. But again, one thing we're always going to talk about, how does the Lions offense stack up? It can't just come out and boom, dump 27 in one half and then go scoreless in the half. You've gone scoreless now 3 consecutive second halves. It's unacceptable. Yes, you like pieces of the offense. Yes, you like how it's clicking on all cylinders suddenly to start the game. But you got to finish. You have to finish. And it's always something with this team. They play 3 quarters and then they don't play the fourth. They play the first half, they don't play the second half. They score in the first half, they don't score in the second half. They shut out the team in the first half, they give up 40 in the second half. It's just always something.
Yeah.
Put it all together. It's all these people are asking for. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, top of the hour, we'll go to Maddie Miller, see her pregame report, check on check on what she's got for us, and then we'll come back for the NFL pick'ems. We'll go around the league, and then we'll go around the NFC North, checking what's sticking the Cuervo zone again, and then we'll give our final game day predictions and wrap up the show. So we'll see you guys in just a minute.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Maddie Miller here with your Detroit Lions pregame report. The Lions are desperately seeking their second win of the season versus the Green Bay Packers today, a team that's also looking to snap a nasty losing streak. The Lions will look a little different this week without TJ Hawkinson on the team, but Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson are both confident they have the right tools in their belt. Brock Wright and James Mitchell are expected to be getting more responsibilities now. Wright was listed as questionable with concussion protocol for today's game, but he is confirmed active. DeAndre Swift, another listed as questionable, is confirmed active as well. One player we won't be seeing is Josh Reynolds, as he is struggling with a back injury. Yesterday, the Lions pulled Stanley Berryhill to the active roster and elevated the Zylstra brothers to the active-inactive list. It'll be interesting to see how the Lions divvy up the tight end touches, but it sounds like they're planning on giving several players opportunities. All eyes will be on the secondary today after the firing of Aubrey Pleasant earlier in the week. The Lions will find out if that was truly the problem over the next few games. That's all I have for you right now. I'll keep you posted as more comes in.
God bless, Maddie. God bless. Doing a great job.
Yeah,
Thank you so
awesome.
much, Maddie.
Man, last week I was pretty close to my pick. I know you were close too, but I think I was closer. All right, we'll just leave it there.
Shut the hell up, Jeff.
Shout out to Maddie, though. She's doing a good job.
Oh,
we have to check the records.
All right, thank you to everybody joining us over at woodwardsports.com. Booner, shut the hell up.
Check the archives, Booner.
I'm going to go dig into this.
A little.
I want to figure this out.
I said 31-24 last week.
I really think you just need to shut up.
I'm gonna do some research.
Oh, God. All right, here's what we got, boys. Let's go around the league.
All right, let's check it out.
We'll start with the Chargers at the Atlanta Falcons. Booner, I'll start with you.
Yeah.
Who you got? Give me the points.
The points?
We're going points only, by the way. Just
points only?
Yep.
If I'm going points, I'm going the Atlanta Falcons.
Wow, you're giving them the 3?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. The Falcons, realistically, they have been the best covered team in football, which is surprising to probably some people, but they find a way to cover. They're in shootout games.
2.5 points. You're giving it to Atlanta?
I am. And the Chargers, too. I mean, they're down a lot of guys on offense right now. I just think this Falcons team, they just figure out a way to stay in the game, or even just a last-second cover. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do that today. I think the Chargers win the game. I just think it's a really close game, like 31-29. Something just extremely close.
I like it. Jeff, what do you got?
I'm going to lean Chargers here. I just think in terms of – and I agree, though. I think the Falcons will cover, especially they don't have Keenan Allen. I think Mike Williams is out as well. Yeah. They've been elevating guys from the practice squad to be able to play. They still don't have Slater. They still don't have Bosa. This is a struggling Chargers team, but at the same time, they got to pick up some wins here. And I think Atlanta's a perfect opportunity. So I think they'll beat Atlanta, but I think it'll be close. Maybe a 3-point
So you're giving
game.
Atlanta the points?
Yeah, I'll give them the points. What's the spread right now?
It's 2.5.
If it's 2.5, I would move the line to 3 just so I can get the 3 for a push.
Yeah,
I would pay for the point there.
Bitches.
To have a point.
I think they cover.
Give me the Chargers to cover. Austin Eckler's going to have one of his better games of the season. Justin Herbert will have his first I am here game where his back's against the wall. He doesn't have all the weapons he usually has. He'll have one of his better games, I believe, out in Atlanta. I don't believe no A.J. Terrell today. Correct me if I'm wrong. No A.J. Terrell out in Atlanta. It's going to make a difference. Give me the Chargers to cover 2.5 points. Colts at New England. The Colts getting 4.5 points on the road. Who you taking, Booner?
I'm going Colts. I think they just find it's the same thing with the Falcons. They're going to find a way to stay in this game with Sam Ehlinger. The Patriots, I mean, do we know who the Patriots quarterback, like what they're rolling with there?
Mac Jones.
Is he like a set in stone? Or
For
is
maybe
it,
the first quarter.
That's what I'm saying. I don't trust this Patriots team. It's weird to see Bill Belichick kind of going through this situation to where he doesn't even know who his own quarterback is. I like the Colts just getting 4 or 5 points? I think it's 5 points, I believe. I'll take 5 points with the Colts all day there.
All right, Jeff, who are you taking?
Ooh, this one's a little more tougher. I'm going to go with the Colts here, too. Something about New England, it's tough because what's the spread currently right now?
4.5. 4.5 point favorite. It's New England.
I'll go Colts on the upset. I know it's at Gillette, correct? It's on the road.
Yes.
Sam Ehlinger is starting again. Ooh. You know what? No, give me the Patriots.
Come on.
Give me the Patriots. Give me the Patriots. I don't think Bill Belichick's going to let Sam Ehlinger beat him, especially with Deion Jackson. Give me the Patriots. I think they cover too. I think they win by a touchdown.
I like it. I'm going to go with the Colts. I agree with you, Booner. 4.5 points, too much for me. Although I love New England at home, actually. I think they win by a field goal. Give me the Colts to cover. New England wins 21-18 in a close game.
I can see that.
Let's go to Buffalo at the Jets. I'll start on this one.
This one will be done quickly.
10.5 point favorites are Buffalo.
If you say
Jets,
don't say it.
Jets.
Don't say it.
Are going to get their asses kicked.
Oh, thank
Give me
God.
the 10.5 points for the Buffalo
I thought you were
Bills.
going to say they cover. Thank God. Yeah, no, this is easy. Bills completely obliterate the Jets. Zach Wilson lately, to me, I don't know, man. I was never sold on Zach Wilson coming out of college, but the decision-making, if you're watching him in those last couple games, it's bad. And you think he's turnover prone now, wait till he faces the Bills. He'll probably have 2 or 3 more turnovers. So give me the Bills. They win decisively here.
Yeah, and shout out to Abe, Jets fan. I've tried to tell him that Zach Wilson, I'm just not a big fan of him.
He sucks.
He's so bad. He's not a franchise quarterback. And in some reason, this Jets team just keeps convincing them. The fans just keep going and thinking that that's their guy. Bills are going to win by 3 touchdowns today. They're going to blow it out. Jesse Adams in the chat said a Gabe Davis touchdown, maybe even 2 touchdowns today, or Stephon Diggs 2 touchdowns. They each might have 2 touchdowns versus
I can
Jets
believe
team.
it. I don't know, but Sauce is the real deal. I will agree with Mark Speed in the chat. Sauce Gardner, Stephon Diggs has to be one of the best matchups of the weekend. It really does.
Yep.
Having said that, I think we're all on the same page here. The Bills will win this game handily. This is my favorite game of the week to bet. Alternate spread, 9.5. Even 10.5, I would take it. The current spread is -4. Miami at Chicago. Give me Miami, in my opinion, on the alternate spread, -9.5. I think they win by double digits. I'm going to make more money off of it. I get it at plus money, plus 300, I believe, is what I'd get it. I'm buying Miami to win by more than 10 points all day.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree with you here. I think Miami, and we could talk about the stat all we want. Tua, when he starts beginning to end, they're undefeated.
Yep.
I think they keep that up. The Bears trade 2 of their best defensive players. I guess Robert Quinn's up there, but no doubt Roquan's the best defensive player. Give me the Dolphins winning on the road here at Soldier Field. I think they obliterate the Bears, and they cover the spread too.
I'm on the same page. I hate that we're all on the same page here. That means we could easily be wrong here, all picking the same. But I think this Dolphins team is legit, and they've added some pieces too. I don't know if they're going to be playing today, but I just think they dominate the Bears. We saw the Bears last week versus the Cowboys. People started to get a little too high, I think, on the Bears and Justin Fields. And this is going to, just like the Cowboys last week, this is going to be one of those games that puts people back in their place. Like, hey, this Bears team's actually not as good as you think. I think it's a touchdown game. 4 points, I'll take that all day.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
All right, fair enough. Let's go to the next game here on the schedule. The Minnesota Vikings at the Washington Commanders. The Vikings are spotted 3 points on the road. Booner, who you got?
I'm going Vikings. What's weird is the Commanders have beat recently. They're on a 3-game winning streak. They've beat the Bears and they've beat the Packers. They're basically outside of Detroit. They've ran through the NFC North. I don't see them doing it versus the Vikings. This Vikings team is just like they're taking that next step right now to be a legit contender, in my opinion, to where they're going to be 7-1 after this week. They're going to have a pretty outstanding, not outstanding because the Commanders aren't good, but they're going to beat the Commanders pretty bad today, I think. And people are going to look at them after this game.
Side note, who do you start? Flex. Chris Godwin at 425 against the Rams, or Terry McLaurin, who's averaging 93 yards since Taylor Heineke became the starting quarterback?
I feel like it's got to be Terry McLaurin.
Yeah. I think I would. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Chat, can we get a Woodward Sports chat?
Deion Jackson against Bill Belichick, or Terry McLaurin
Who are you
against
starting
the Minnesota
today?
Vikings?
3 options. Who should you start at the flex? That's the question. Deion Jackson, Chris Godwin, Terry McLaurin. No, that's not my fantasy team. Yes, it is.
You guys know my answer already. Deion Jackson today.
I love Deion, but I
think he gets
can't. I
20
don't know.
points.
I'm not against the Bill Belichick defense. I'm struggling there, buddy.
Yeah, I still.
Is he going to get 10 catches like he did the last time he played? That's the question I have.
Maybe off check.
Terry McLaurin hasn't caught a touchdown in a few weeks. He's due. He's getting 9 targets a game with Taylor Heineke starting at the quarterback position. It's Patrick Peterson guarding him. Minnesota, I think, are going to win this game handily. I'm expecting garbage points from Terry McLaurin, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I mean, you could be up to something there.
What do you guys think? Let's throw that in the chat. I'm very curious what all of you think. I'm rolling with McLaurin as of now. You guys have the option to change my mind. We'll run that in the chat. Moving on to the next game. The Bengals spotted a touchdown, 7 points against the Carolina Panthers. Jeff, I'll start with you.
Ooh,
At home, by the way.
This one's tougher. I think they win. I don't think that's tough, but without Jamar Chase, that's kind of the narrative I'm going to be watching. And on top of that, too, they haven't been able to protect Joe Burrow. Like, they've been better, but last week was terrible.
Yep.
I mean, it was awful. And I know they haven't been historically good against, at least Joe Burrow, against the Browns. But now you're facing Derek Brown, Brian Burns in this defensive line. They got some dogs in that defensive line. I think they'll cause the Bengals trouble. I don't see the Bengals scoring more than 30 points. I think it'll be somewhere around, 24-14. I think they cover, but I don't think it's a complete blowout, in my opinion. I'll give you the Bengals here at home.
I love it. Give me the Bengals in a blowout. I think the Bengals, even without Jamar Chase, they'll find a way. Joe Mixon probably has one of his better games in recent weeks. Give me the Bengals to cover the spread.
I'll flip it on you guys. I'll go the Panthers. I like taking dogs, so I'm going to go the Panthers today. I think they keep it close. Bengals, I can see the Bengals blowing them out and getting a get-right game after this Browns loss. I just think the Panthers somehow, they've stayed in some of these games the last 2 weeks since making those trades from Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
I just think they're gonna do the same thing here. I think they keep it close within a touchdown.
No, I'm with you there. And I think another thing, just going back to the Minnesota game, I cannot wait to watch T.J. Hockenson. I mean, I really can. I know we're kind of bouncing games, but just to say this too, that Minnesota offense is going to have some juice going this week with T.J. So a lot of good matchups to look forward to. But I'm with you. I think the Bengals win, but I could see the Panthers covering.
All right, guys, we can't avoid this game. It's the last 1 o'clock game. Green Bay, Detroit. Green Bay spotted 4 points. Booner, I'll start with you.
Man, I've been thinking about this, about what play I'm going to have here. I locked in earlier, Adam. I actually locked in the Lions +4. I think they keep it close, and I did this last week, and I said the Lions were going to win. I don't think they win this game, but I think they keep it close. I just don't think the Packers – you could say that the Lions' defense is that bad. I just don't think this Packers' offense is going to put up 30 points to where this Lions offense, then Jared Goff isn't going to be able to kind of just stay around. We've seen it all year. I think they're able to stay around with this bad Packers offense. So I got the +4 there.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, I have the stats in front of me, team stats, and yeah, Green Bay isn't good. They allow a ton of yards on the ground. They're very good with their pass defense. I'm with you. You say they'll cover -4 or +4. I could see that. My final score prediction, I'm going to go 24-20. Green Bay wins. I think it's a low. I don't want to say a low-scoring game.
Damn, you're giving us a push, huh, Jeff?
I'm giving them a little bit of a push. I think they could score 20 at home. They've shown they can score points at home. I just think this Green Bay defense, they've kind of underperformed to what they have talent-wise. This is a big game. I think everybody comes to play. Without Josh Reynolds, I think that's going to hurt this offense. DeAndre limited. Give me the Packers here, 24-20. I think maybe they win on a last drive touchdown, whatever it is. But I think it'll be close. But I'll give you that -4. I think they win by 4.
Give me the Packers to cover. 31-23. That's the score line I'm going with. You know what? F it. We're here. Let's do game predictions. I'll start. Aaron Rodgers has his resurgence game. The Packers relatively move the ball up and down the field at ease. They will have a few moments where they look awful. I think Aiden Hutchinson, Josh Pascal. The front seven will do its job today. They'll do they'll do something. It won't be as bad as it was last week. Give me the Lions to play this game tight. I just believe the Packers pull away late. Give me 31-23. The Lions will just hit a few roadblocks. I think this is the game where you see the Packers defense really come out and shine. Going into the year, we thought it was a top 5 defense. They've been horrendous this year. This week, the defensive coordinator got a vote of confidence. I'm rolling with the Packers here. 31-23 Packers. Give me Jared Alexander, Preston Smith. They're going to have some of their better games.
Yeah.
Watch out.
No, yeah, I agree with you. I think Dobbs is in for not a huge game, but like you saw last week against the Bills, no Lazard. Dobbs stepped up. That was against that Bills secondary. I think he's going to have another big one today. Maybe even Alan Lazard as well.
I think my prediction would be 27-24.
Okay.
Like I said, I think they cover the spread, the Lions do. I think it's a touchdown game. Nothing too crazy. I still think that the over-under's at about 49.5, 50. I think it goes under there. Or, yeah, kind of under, right? It's going to be right next to that 50 mark there, I believe. And it's just going to kind of go under. Packers kick a field goal last 5 minutes to win it, and the Lions can't do anything on offense to finish the game. So that's kind of how I see it.
And if anything, the Lions, this team has told us, is they can't make second half adjustments. So maybe watch them score 20 in the first half and get shut out the second half. I could see that happening as well.
Brutal. Well, look, let's check in with Stick live at the Cuervo Zone. Then we'll come back. We'll do our final wrap-ups before we send all of you to Ford Field for the 1 o'clock game with the Detroit Lions. But, Stick, what do you got going on down there?
The Cuervo Zone, Brass Rail, downtown Detroit. Lions taking on the Packers today. This guy's been dancing since he got here. What's your name, man?
Lions, Sam.
That's my name.
Samuel, if you want to be.
My middle name's Samuel.
There you go, yeah. Sam.
All right, cool, man. Who you got in the game today?
I want to take the Lions. You know, that's just the heart in me. I want to take the Lions, but I think Green Bay has us by a little bit. That's why I've been so nice to the Packers fans that I've seen. I feel like they have us by a little tiny bit.
There are a lot of Green Bay fans down here today.
There is. A lot of cheeseheads down here, man.
And they got here early. Like, normally the party doesn't start till like 10 o'clock. They were down here at 9 drinking.
We got here early, too. It's not only them. We got here early, too.
Who's your favorite Lion?
My favorite Lion? I'd have to go with Jamal Williams, man. He's the second running back up, but he's got a whole lot of heart in him. And when you give him the ball, he will go for you, man. He will go.
You got the swaggy dance moves, man? You got the dance moves down?
He's got the swaggy dance moves. He's got the whole vibe. He's a whole character. And that's why he's my favorite, because they don't give him the ball up top, but when they do give him the ball, when they give Jamal Williams the ball, he will fucking give you your whole heart. Sorry, I don't know if I
You're good. It's all right. Cuervo's cool with it. They love tequila. All right, last question. How you feel about Dan Campbell?
Dan Campbell, I love Dan Campbell.
All right.
He's trying. We might not be doing the best. But Dan Campbell is bought in with us. He's bought in. And he has his whole heart with us. So I trust him. I trust him right now.
All right, appreciate that, Sam. Enjoy the game, man. Have a good one. Adam, back to you in the studio, baby.
All right, appreciate it, Stick. God bless.
Adam, you got to lay off Dan. You know why?
Me?
Because you hear what the fan said. He's trying.
He's trying?
He's trying.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my wife pregnant. It's not working. Clearly, I'm fucked up.
Oh my
but
God.
at least I'm trying.
I love fans, man.
I'm
Nothing
trying.
against that guy. I love the positivity.
Mommy, I'm going to school. I'm trying. I'm an F student, but I'm going to school. I'm trying. No, Timmy, you're a fucking idiot. God damn it. I feel bad for my kids one day. Anyway,
Timmy just gets the boot.
Raise my kids the way my dad raised me.
You have expectations for your kids like Dan Campbell.
No, I'm joking.
I expect you to take that next step next year.
I'm joking. He's an F student, man. He really is. F plus, according to Mr. Ray. Look, you know what? Honest to God, let's wrap up. All right? We all gave our final predictions. 31-23 for the Packers. For me, Booter, final score?
27-24 Packers.
I'll go 24-20 Packers.
All right, consensus around the room, the Packers are going to win. That means the Lions are going to win today, folks. So congratulations. You all have a great time at Ford Field. But before we go, two things we got to address. Jeff put together a parlay together.
Yay or nay.
And he wants to hear your all of you in the WoodwardSports.com chat's thoughts on it. So we'll go to that. 55% of you said Chris Godwin. Or excuse me, Terry McLaurin.
Yes.
So I'm rolling. But people at home, this is Jeff's parlay. Romeo Dobbs, plus 40 alternate. Robert Tonyan, plus 25 alternate. Anytime touchdown scorers, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Aaron Jones. Packers on the money line. Packers first half spread at -2.5.
Thanks,
Basically,
Adam.
they need to be up by a field goal at halftime. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown, alternate 60 yards. Booner, what do we think of this?
I love it. I locked it in before the show as well. As soon as I saw Jeff post it, I had to lock it in. I mean, Dubes is going to get 40 yards. Tonyan, I mean, we already know what our secondary is like. Amon-Ra is going to get a touchdown today. I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Jones in the red zone gets it done. And then we'll just leave the Packers ones. I mean, I know I said they're covering, but I have them at +4, so I'm right there in the middle. I said 27-24, and I'm right in the middle there. I need a 3-point win for me to win both of mine here today.
I'm confident with a lot of them. I want to get a poll in the chat, too, see if you guys yay or nay, if you like it or not. I know a lot of people, you kind of helped me out with the first half spread, too. I'm going to be honest, not a big betting guy. Don't make a lot of bets. I think I'm like 0 for 5 in my parlays. I don't do a ton of them. But today, something urged me to make this parlay, and I like it. So the people out there that are used to doing stuff like this, give me your opinion. Yay or nay? Does it suck?
I'm voting nay.
Of course you are.
I want to send bad karma. That way you can actually win. Because if I say I love it and you miss by one leg, I'm going to feel awful.
What's the one leg you think could lose this whole parlay?
The one leg that's going to struggle? Amon-Ra, anytime touchdown.
That's probably the one you're a little...
Yeah. He hasn't been on the score sheet in a long time.
He hasn't.
He's
right.
due.
He hasn't been right. He is due, though.
He's definitely
And I like
due.
that. What'd you get him at, +100?
It was better odds.
Great.
Jamal and Aaron Jones were I'm like, for those odds, I got to get Amon-Ra, considering he's going to be really the only option today against the Packers. But got to get your guys' opinion on it. If I win 250, we'll do a little something. I'll treat the coworkers or something. But we'll see. I know I put a parlay opening night for the Pistons as well. Missed that one by one leg. Shot to Cade. Still love you. Didn't get 5.5 rebounds over that. But overall, I'm pretty comfortable. All right, so we'll see. Monday morning, if I show up and I'm in a happy mood, I'm very positive, I won. And if I show up, I'm kind of sad, what happens.
Jeff shows up in a fur coat, he won. Fur coat and some sunglasses on.
If I do the show Monday with buffs, like you know what way we're trending. Yeah, it's the proof's in the pudding there. The proof's in the pudding. Right now, it's about 60-40. It's actually not the odds I actually liked.
No, it's good. That means 40% are setting good karma your way. So hopefully you win. But
appreciate you guys.
Everybody at home, God bless. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Off to Ford Field you all go. 1 o'clock, Packers at the Detroit Lions. You all enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your football Sunday. We will catch up with all of you later. God bless. Have a great rest of your day.